Now, you may have missed the headlines in the news, but there's been several articles over the last few months about how Christianity is actually starting to be on the rise here in the US. This is shocking because it reverses basically a 20 or 30-year trend downwards. Not only that, but what's more surprising to people is that, and it's been highlighted in the New York Times and Vanity Fair and other places, that the Bay Area where we live is seeing this as well. That people are starting to turn their hearts towards Jesus. And I can tell you this is something that I see in conversation with other pastors who are here in the Bay Area as well. Last week I was at an event with about 75 other lead pastors all throughout the Bay Area, like the 8-9 counties that are all around. And almost every single one of us says the same thing, that God is doing something at our churches that is unique. That we're starting to see this rise and this influx of people into our churches. And I don't know about you, but I'm praying for and looking with great anticipation to what God may be doing here at our church and here in the Bay Area. And it was reminded me of this passage in Matthew chapter 9 where Jesus encouraged his disciples with this. He said this in verses 37 and 38. The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore, pray earnestly to the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest. That we should pray earnestly that God would send out people because there are so many there who are ready to place their faith in Jesus. Now, what is amazing about this, there's kind of two things. First, that historically the last two big moves of God in the U.S., did you know, have both taken place in California? And both of those took place about 60 years apart, and the last one was about 60 years ago. And I'm starting to wonder, is God about to do the next big move of God? And maybe again, it will happen here in California. And with that passage that Jesus encourages you to pray for, you know what I found? When I start to pray that God would send people out, what I found is that God is actually sending me. When we start to pray for opportunities to share the gospel, that the love of Jesus would be made known, when you have the courage to pray that, you will see that you are the answer to that prayer. And so I would just challenge you, as Jesus challenged his disciples 2,000 years ago, to start praying that prayer. God, send people out, and God, that person is me. So God, would you show me where I can be involved, what you would have me do, as you're softening people's hearts and starting to bring them back to you. Let's be faithful in praying that.